My name is Ethan. If you're hearing this, it means I failed to outrun what followed me out of the Appalachian woods. I'm recording this because silence is dangerous now. The nightmare didn't begin with me. It began with Sarah. Sarah was the kind of hiker people respected. She had finished sections of the Appalachian Trail most people only read about. She trusted the forest. I encouraged her to take the northern stretch alone. When she hesitated, I told her she was strong enough. That guilt still burns. A week before she vanished, she emailed me. Just one line. "They can hear me, Ethan. I'm so hungry." I assumed it was exhaustion. I never replied. When she disappeared, police called it exposure or misadventure. But I knew better. Hunger doesn't talk. Hunger doesn't whisper names. So I packed my gear and drove north, convinced I could fix my mistake. I didn't realize the forest had already accepted her and was preparing space for me. The last town before the northern stretch looked abandoned by time itself. I stopped for fuel at a collapsing gas station lit by a single flickering bulb. When I mentioned Sarah's name, the cashier froze. His hands kept wiping the same clean spot on the counter. Without looking up, he muttered, "That part of the trail don't lose people, it keeps them." Outside, an elderly woman selling jars of maple syrup grabbed my wrist. Her grip was cold and painfully strong. She leaned close and whispered, "If you hear your own voice calling you, don't answer. It already learned you." I laughed nervously, pretending folklore didn't scare me, but her eyes were wet with real fear. Another man added, "Bears eat food. This thing eats hunger." I drove away unsettled, replaying Sarah's email. Hunger, hearing voices. I told myself it was stress, but deep down, something felt wrong. Like I wasn't heading into the woods, I was being welcomed back. The moment I stepped onto the northern trail, the forest shifted. The temperature dropped unnaturally fast. Wind vanished. Birds went silent. My footsteps sounded too loud, like the forest was listening. After an hour, I noticed the marks. Deep grooves in the mud, too narrow, too long. Not paws, not boots. They stopped abruptly, as if whatever made them lifted straight into the air. I felt watched. My stomach twisted. Not hunger, but something emptier. Then the smell hit. Rotting meat mixed with metal and sulfur. It coated my throat, making my eyes water. I gagged, instinctively backing away. That's when I heard it. A wet, rhythmic slap from between the trees. Slow, deliberate steps. 2 legs, long legs. I raised my camera, hands shaking, whispering Sarah's name. That's when it clicked. Predators don't announce themselves, but this thing wasn't hunting. It was letting me know I had been noticed. I followed the marks until I saw color through the trees. Sarah's tent, or what remained of it. The fabric was shredded vertically, as if sliced open with purpose. Her gear lay scattered, untouched. The strangest detail made my skin crawl. Her food bag hung nearby, completely intact. No animal ignores food. That realization punched the air out of my lungs. This wasn't about eating. This was about her. I felt the cold seep deeper into my bones, not from the weather, but from dread. Beneath a twisted root, I found her backpack. Inside was her diary, mud-stained but intact. My hands trembled as I opened it. If she was hunted, I needed to know how. If she changed, I needed to know why. As I read the first clean pages, a single thought haunted me. What if she didn't run because she was trapped, but because she was being transformed? Sarah's diary began normally. Miles walked, weather notes, small victories. Then the tone shifted. Day 12 mentioned being watched. Day 14 described a hunger water couldn't fix. My mouth went dry reading her words. She wrote about hearing her brother's voice calling her from the trees, about dreaming of food that wasn't food. Then I read the line that made my stomach churn. "It isn't chasing me, it's teaching me." She described the creature, tall, skeletal, antlers like dead branches, eyes like empty holes. But worse were her thoughts. She wrote about imagining meat, about wondering how long a human could survive without food. Her final entry read, "It wants me hollow before it takes me. Hunger is the doorway." I closed the diary, fighting nausea. This wasn't insanity, it was infection. And standing there, surrounded by silence, I felt something inside me answer that hunger. Night fell too fast. I pitched my tent near Sarah's camp, heart pounding. I couldn't sleep. Every rustle sounded intentional. My stomach cramped sharply, twisting with sudden hunger. I had eaten hours ago, yet saliva pooled in my mouth at the thought of food. Disgusted, I buried my supplies beneath a rock. I refused to let hunger control me. Sarah's diary warned that the craving wasn't natural, it was planted. Around 2 a.m., scratching echoed across the trees, slow, methodical. Then came the whispers, low, familiar. My mother's voice coaxed me outside. My brother begged me to help him eat. Tears streamed down my face as my body leaned forward against my will. My hands shook violently. My teeth chattered, not from cold, but restraint. Hunger gnawed at my mind like claws. This thing wasn't trying to kill me, it was starving my humanity first. The whispers grew sharper, closer. I pressed my hands over my ears, but the voices came from inside my skull. Memories twisted into weapons, laughter turned into pleading. I tasted metal as my jaw clenched. My vision blurred. I almost unzipped the tent, almost surrendered. That's when I noticed something horrifying. The hunger wasn't random. It spiked when the whisper spoke. The creature was feeding through me. I forced myself to breathe slowly, gripping my knife until my palm bled. If it wanted me weak, I had to stay conscious. Suddenly, silence fell, absolute. Then the smell returned, stronger than before. The scratching stopped. I realized the whispers were a test, and I had passed just enough to deserve the next lesson. Whatever stood outside my tent wasn't impatient, it was curious, and it was learning how much of me it could take. I unzipped the tent a fraction. Moonlight revealed the silhouette. It stood impossibly tall, bones stretched thin beneath translucent skin, antlers twisted from its skull like dead branches. Its eyes were nothing, void swallowing light. The smell intensified. My stomach lurched violently. It tilted its head, studying me, studying my fear. When it stepped forward, the ground made that sickening slap. I felt something inside my chest tear, not muscle, but resolve. It didn't rush, it didn't roar, it waited. The hunger surged again, sharp and overwhelming. My knees buckled. I realized then, this creature didn't need speed or claws. It broke you from the inside until you wanted to give in. And standing there, shaking, I understood Sarah hadn't lost. She had been consumed slowly, just like it planned for me. I slammed the zipper shut and grabbed Sarah's diary, flipping to the last pages. One line stood out. It mirrors hunger. Starve it and it weakens. My heart raced. The Wendigo wasn't drawn to food, it was drawn to desire. It needed hunger to exist. The whispers returned, furious now, demanding I eat. I felt sick. My body screamed for nourishment. Tears streamed down my face as I dug up my buried food. Every instinct told me to devour it. Instead, I threw it out the tent flap. Silence. Then a shrill, eager sound ripped through the trees. The creature lunged, not at me, but at the food. That's when I knew. Hunger distracted it. Hunger blinded it. This wasn't escape. This was a gamble against something older than fear. I ripped open the back of my tent and ran. Branches tore my skin. Something slashed my calf. Hot pain exploded as I stumbled forward. Behind me, the whispers screamed my name in layered voices. I didn't look back. Blood soaked my boot as I crashed through the trees, lungs burning. Something breathed close to my ear. I felt fingers, too long, too cold, graze my jacket before slipping away. Then abruptly, silence. I collapsed onto an old dirt road, sobbing. Headlights appeared. A truck stopped. I blacked out. I survived, but survival isn't victory. It's permission to suffer longer. And deep inside, beneath the pain and relief, something else stirred, still hungry. I woke in a clinic wrapped in blankets. Doctors said I was dehydrated, traumatized, hallucinating. Police asked about mental health history. They smiled politely. They didn't believe me. For a moment, I almost didn't either, until I smelled it again. Rotten meat, sulfur. The cold didn't leave my bones. No matter how much I ate, hunger returned minutes later, sharp and endless. At night, I dreamt of antlers. The doctors discharged me with pills and apologies. I left knowing something followed me, not physically, internally. The Wendigo didn't chase prey, it planted seeds, and I was fertile ground.
A deputy later told me search teams found nothing. No destroyed tent, no gouges. Sarah's camp was packed neatly, case closed. I understood then, the creature cleans its tracks. It isolates survivors, makes disbelief its shield. Sarah wasn't missing, she had been erased. And if no one believed me, I was next. That night, the hunger worsened. Cabinets filled with food, yet nothing satisfied it. I hoarded supplies compulsively, hiding bars in drawers, pockets, shoes. I was becoming something else, something hollow. Days passed. I avoided mirrors. The cold deepened. My reflection looked wrong, thinner, sharper. My thoughts drifted to meat. I hated myself for it. That's when it hit me. What if Sarah cleaned her camp? What if she returned, changed, helping it prepare? Legends say Wendigos multiply by teaching hunger. I wasn't cursed, I was recruited, and I was failing the test. I found my old satellite phone and charged it. A notification appeared. Sender, W. The message read, "I'm still cold. I'm still hungry. You shouldn't have thrown away the food. It liked you that you ran." My blood turned to ice. This wasn't memory. This was communication. The Wendigo learned. Sarah learned. And now, so was I. I backed away from the door as silence pressed in. Then I heard it. Dry leaves scraping concrete, right outside. The whisper spoke softly. "You can't bury hunger, Ethan." I looked at my reflection, antlers twisted where my face should be. The voice finished. Sarah already joined.